What's up, YouTube? My name is indeed YesterGames. So today on the YesterGames YouTube channel, I shall be uploading this video of just a couple CAWs that I made. Now this video was kind of me cheating a little bit. I'll explain what's going on with that in the next video, which should be uploaded in an hour or two, possibly 3. But for the moment, the main way I'm cheating here is that I said previously this would be I think 5 episodes of 5, I believe, to make 100 CAWs, or not 5, 25. 20 episodes of 5 is what I think I said originally, but this episode's only 4. So I'm just going to show you guys 4 CAWs, and we will go on with the next video, which will explain some stuff about that. So here is our first CAW, 25% of this entire situation. So in case you haven't read the top left corner of the screen, I suggest you read it. And I'm going to tell you who this is. This is the reincarnation of a CAW that I make every year, called Justice. So I make Justice every year, and he's the same gimmick every year, but this year I decided to change up only one little thing about him this time. And that thing is that he is currently, in this incarnation, a heel. So the previous Justice versions that I've made have always been faces. They've always been faces. They've always been about revolutioning the wrestling world by being in the ring and just being the revolutionist and building up a faction called the Revolution. So this is kind of the same idea and the same general overview, except this isn't about necessarily revolutionizing the wrestling world. It's more about rebelling against the wrestling world. So with this Justice being a heel, I changed up a few things. So he's still kind of the same. He's very pierced up. I don't think I gave him any tattoos this time around. I probably should have, but I don't think at the time of making this CAW, I don't think that tattoos were a good idea, or I didn't think tattoos were a good idea. But the idea of Justice like this is that he's rebelling. As a heel, he's blaming the fans for wrestling being in the state that it's in, which he considers to be a very poor state. So he's rebelling against the fans and trying to start a revolution against the fans to quote-unquote save wrestling. So I'm kind of changing him up a little bit. So it's less of a revolution and more of a rebellion, but it's like 50-50, about 50% revolution, 50% rebellion going on. It's a little bit different. So because I'm still keeping those revolution and rebellion themes, I'm keeping it with the black, white, and red, and a series of grays. Here you see some wrist and hand tape going on. And he's even got an elbow pad right there, you can see. The trunks are just some nice camouflage ones. I got some trapezoids on both sides, and I used one of the trunk designs, to the little sun version, to go inside with that. On the back, it does say Revolt. I was thinking about it saying Rebel, but Justice in this incarnation will probably still form a faction called the Revolution, so having Revolt on here did make sense. What's new is this little logo that I found, which I don't know if this is more influenced from the Ascension or it's more influenced from just the Illuminati. But regardless of where it is originally used for, it looks good, and I really like this logo. I just think it looks pretty clean indeed. Plus it really goes well with like the whole aesthetic. If we scroll down, then we just got some black, red knee pads. You guys can see in the top left corner once again, I changed up his finishing move. For the past couple of years or so, I think, I know specifically last year, I don't know about previous years offhand, but I've been giving him the Gourd Buster GTS, which is basically a gourd buster. Instead of both men falling to the ground, he just gives him a good old knee to the face. I changed it up this year. Instead of the Gourd Buster GTS, I'm just giving him the GTS. And having that logo, this logo, on this knee is supposed to be showing that That's the knee that's going to be hitting you. That's the knee that's going to be giving you that GTS. Which is, I'm also calling Revolution, by the way. His finishing move is called the Revolution, but it is the GTS. Nothing really anything else down here, just some nice boots, keeping it pretty simple. I think what I should have done was that I may have should have blacked out the soles, or I should have like dark grayed it. Maybe having white was a little bit weird of a choice, but it's okay. I am okay with it. So moving on to the entrance attire, I tried to make it a little bit more on the rebellion side than the revolution side. So it's face cover, it's very like criminalistic, I guess. Generally speaking, and it doesn't always, it's not always true, obviously, because it's a generalization, but a lot of the time, face cover masks are really, really cool. And it's just what it is. You know when the Shield came out at, like, I think they did it at one WrestleMania and then 2 other events with the half mask that they had, like the little skull. People love that, and I still see cause of the Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, like with that attire, because I think people just love the face cover. People just love the half mask that they had right there. Cowboys used it when they would rob trains or whatever the fuck they would rob. Well, people, I guess, too. I guess you're not just only robbing trains. But I feel like half masks that only cover, like, maybe, like, you're slightly above your nostrils to the entire bottom half of your face just go really well. I think even gangsters use it, like modern day gangsters, but they have, like, bandanas. So it just covers the front of their face. But face cover is really cool, and I felt that it fit the rebellion vibe that I'm going for. Plus, it looked really good with the jacket. The jacket makes it come together in a way. So yeah, I used the Bullet Club logo on this just because I honestly feel like I may have seen a picture of Kenny Omega with some face cover on, and he had something like this, and I was like, that looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna use that because that looks pretty sick. But yeah, that's just the entrance attire here. Just a little face cover and a nice jacket. So moving on to the second attire, it's a little bit more simple of an attire, I think, at least. So the wrist and hand shape is different. The elbow pad is different. You guys can see that. And the trunks are different. Now these are not like tighty whities. These are well, these are shorts. They're short trunks, like Jason Jordan wore. Or I can't think of anyone else. Oh, Okada. Okada wears short trunks. So yeah, I don't really remember the inspiration for why I decided to do triangles all around like this. I may have just wanted something simple design-wise, and I just liked how this looks. I may have seen this somewhere, and I don't remember where I saw it, which is why I can't tell you where it comes from, but, you know, it's just what it is. I think it looks pretty good, even though I can't remember why I decided to do it like this. And you guys can see Revolution is written out on the front of those good old-fashioned trunks. If we were to move down a little bit, then you would see a little bit of different stuff. You can see that knee pad still hosts the same logo, which is not apparent anywhere else on the attire, unfortunately speaking. That same triangle right there with the Illuminati kind of stuff, making it look like it does, which I think is pretty nice. Still, that is the same knee that's going to be GTSing you for, you know, that entire time. And then we go down, we just have these boots, which I didn't really want to do anything with again. I feel like what I did was that I gave him knee pads, and then I worked around it with the boots. So you guys know I don't typically like any skin to be shown from from the knee pads to the boots. I just don't like that idea, so I didn't do it. It looks a little bit weird because I don't really think I love these boots though. I don't think these boots are like great. I don't know who uses these boots, but I don't think they're specifically terrific. I probably will use them again in the future just to see if I can upgrade them in terms of how I like them. But that's the wrestling attire, and now we go into the second attire, which is another face cover with the same jacket. So focusing only on the face cover because the jacket's the exact same. I think this is a Tokyo Ghoul thing. I've never seen Tokyo Ghoul, although I have seen enough Tokyo Ghoul like stuff on YouTube and things of that nature to know that this kind of image that I'm getting on the face cover, on the bandana, this is probably Tokyo Ghoul. It is a bandana, so it doesn't cover, you know, the back of the head like the other face cover does, but I like the fact that it's a little bit different. I like the bandana feel. It feels more modern. I don't know what cowboys used back in the day, but it feels more modern to just have a bandana. I think it looks pretty cool. And that's what I have to show you for this one, because this one is like the exact same as the other one. It's just of a different face cover idea. I probably could have put something on the back, but I didn't feel like the jacket needed anything on the back. But yeah, guys, this is Justice this year. I think it came out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how Justice looks. The one thing I'm not happy with is his entrance. So I gave him the Shield entrance, the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose stuff. I think I gave him specifically Dean Ambrose. But this game changed up how the Shield does their entrance. So if you select the Shield entrance, no matter what arena you're on, no matter what is going on, they will enter from the stairs. Like the stairs leading up to the fans and everything like that. Which is fine as long as you're on an arena that has stairs. So like I don't think that entrance would work if you were on NXT or if you were on like some of the arenas that you got in career mode. It won't work there. It will look super weird and you'll just enter through out of nowhere. But when it works, it works and it looks pretty good. It's the only thing I don't like about this, just his entrance. But yeah, guys, this is Justice this year. This is the Wrestling Revolutionist, or I guess what I could also be calling him is the Wrestling Rebel. But yeah, guys, now let's move on to another Caw. He's going to be the 50% of this video. He's going to be the other to make this half. Let's move on to a new Caw this year. I'm going to be calling him Amazing Chris Anderson. Alright, guys. So, moving on from 25%. Moving on from Justice, the Wrestling Revolutionist, the Wrestling Rebel. Here we have another 25% halfway through the video. Here we have Amazing Chris Anderson. So this is a new Caw this year. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to not use any custom logos. I wanted to use some stuff that was in-game. And I'm not gonna lie. This isn't great. Not gonna lie. But for a first attempt, I actually really do like it. I use some stuff in combination that I think works out. So it's obviously, man, my voice is going away. It's obviously not as great as some other things, but it's a step in the right direction, and I shall do better in the future. But yeah, here is Amazing Chris Anderson. So I make kind of an amazing gimmick, like every year. But I think it's always something based around like Mr. Amazing, like it was on IPW. I don't think I've given Amazing as if it was a nickname and then worked something around it. This is actually just, well, his name is Chris Anderson. I'm using Amazing more as a nickname. You can see in the top left corner there, Chris is K-R-I-S, not C-H-R-I-S, just for the sake of being dumb. But yeah. So here is Amazing Chris Anderson, guys. So you can see he has 2 elbow pads, some wrist tape. Not very much to talk about there. He's not very... I don't know how to say this. He's not buff. Let me put it like Let me put it like that. He's not shredded. He didn't have those hardcore six-pack abs that I know everybody looks for these days. I gave him the short trunks, which I think I gave him on both attires, but we'll talk about that when we get to the other one. It's pretty simple. These shurikens is what I was sticking to. I was sticking to these shurikens basically the entire time. Just because I don't know. Maybe I like the idea of the shurikens. But yeah, you guys can see amazing is written on the front. There's something on the back. I probably could have put a couple more shurikens back here, but I didn't think that was the best idea. Moving down to the knee pads, I love these knee pads. These knee pads are super dope. I think these are Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows knee pads, good brothers. I don't know which one they are specifically. I would assume they're probably Carl's rather than Luke's, but I can't be too sure. I'm pretty confident these belong to them though because of the paint splatter. So typically, you know, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they are black and white because of Bullet Club and everything, or the club, I guess I should say. But because it's colorful and I use like the light blue, the white, and the red, I just think it looks super cool, and I really do enjoy it. Boots aren't anything really to stress out about, just some normal black boots. Nothing really there. Now, something that I really like about this whole attire is this jacket. This jacket is freaking awesome, dude. This is a Mrs. jacket. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in generic, so I had to use a couple of squares to block out the back. But once I blocked out the back, I didn't want to add anything else to this because it just looks like such a cool jacket as it is. It's just such a cool jacket, and I just love. I just love it. I really do. You guys can also see as I show you guys this jacket in the top left corner. I gave him the finishing move, the Panama Sunrise. I'm gonna be calling it a maze. And if you guys don't know, the Panama Sunrise, it's basically a Canadian destroyer. And Adam Cole uses that move. You know, Adam Cole, the guy that leads. He'll defeat Era, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. Adam Cole, baby! You know, that guy. But anyway, here is the second attire. Unfortunately, I was wrong. I did not do trunks for both attires. I did trunks and tights. So here is the other attire, which is tights. I think these are the same elbow pads and wrist tape, so we don't got to go anything about that. But I actually like this attire a little bit more than the first one because I feel like everything flows well when I look at this attire. The gold, the pink, and the black, it all just blends together in a way that I actually really do enjoy. So I preferably I like this attire more than the second one, or more than the first one, but I like the first one too. It's just this one's a little bit better for me. So from the part you can see about the type, you guys can see another gold shuriken hoisted and posted right there on the crotch with amazing in pink. We got another shuriken on the buttocks. We got a shuriken on his right side, or our right side I guess I should say, and a shuriken on the left. We got two shurikens on this leg, 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 and that's all the shurikens that we have for the tights. Looking pretty good. I just like how I did this. Like I said, this could be a lot better. I could have done a lot better with using in-game logos to make it look better, look less generic and less just thrown together. But there's always room for improvement, and that's the whole point of me doing this, so I can improve. So, moving down, we got two more shurikens, one on the left knee pad, one on the right knee pad. I like this one because there's no black here. So it just looks nice to see it look like this. It looks like a flower, kind of. These pink lines and the gold make it look like kind of a flower. A flower of ninjas. And the boots just work well too. I just like the boots too, which is really nice. Black boots with gold soles and gold wires, rope, strings, laces. I don't know. I couldn't find the word laces for a minute. I'm dumb. But yeah, gold laces and the pink pattern on the back and the front looks pretty good. I do enjoy that. I definitely do enjoy that. So you guys can back out and you guys can see another awesome jacket. The same jacket, just as awesome, in black, pink, and gold. Just imagine this guy burying your head into the canvas with a flip pile driver. Just imagine it. Isn't it glorious? Isn't it fantastic? Isn't it extravagant? Isn't it phenomenal? Isn't it glorious? Isn't it Adam Cole, baby? I'm dumb. But yeah, I just love this jacket, and I feel like the jacket really works out. There's a part of me that thinks that this jacket is giving me Kazuchika Okada vibes, even though it's not as long. But it just looks kind of, it's noticeable. It's a really good jacket, and I just like having it, especially on Amazing Chris Anderson. I think it goes with the whole idea. But yeah, this is Amazing Chris Anderson, guys. Like I said, I was trying to use in-game logos this time around, and I didn't want to use custom logos. So it worked out okay. You know, I'm not gonna like bash it right now. I might bash it in like a couple weeks or a couple months or so. But I think for right now, it is okay. But I am very aware that it could be better. But that is indeed the whole point, for me to get better and better and better and better and better. But yeah, guys, that is Amazing Chris Anderson. Now let's move on to another call of mine. With this call, we will be 75% through the video, and I will most certainly promise you guys that this call is very, very strong. Alright guys, so I don't think that I've shown off this car before. I think that I made this car back when I was doing Impact Pro Wrestling, but because I was doing IPW, I didn't really like have the time to record another video showcasing the cars that I had made outside of IPW. So I think this is the first time ever showing you guys this car. But this is Tobias Strong. I think I made him last year, but like I said, I don't think I showed you guys him last year. This is the first time Tobias Strong is ever being shown, I believe. But yeah, here is Tobias. You can see he is a muscular fellow, a muscular man. He looks like a fucking elf. His face, at least. I think it's those light blue eyes that I gave him. I think they're fucking elf eyes, brother. Give him a little thing on his hair. Got him a nice little sword tattoo on his back. I like how I did it so that the wings kind of carry over to the traps of his body. Carry over to the front. Gave him some elbow pads and some wrist tape. Nothing else to really talk about there. With the trunks, I think what I was trying to do was I was trying to throw something that was very similar to the Jay Lethal attire. I like Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal is a pretty cool, good wrestler. I think that was kind of what I was trying to do, but with my own little thing on it. So because of the strong thing I was giving him, I decided to give him this little animal, which I am very confident is a red panther. I don't know any red panthers in terms of like sports, so I don't know if there are any red panthers that are representative of a school or of a team, but I think this is a red panther. I haven't had or have any kind of evidence to suggest otherwise, so for the moment I'm going to say it's a red panther. Going around right here, you can see the word survive. The tagline that I'm using for Tobias is only the strong survive, so survive would make sense here. Going around, this little section right here where it's like red and black kind of takes up a good half the attire, and the other back of the attire does have these nice claw marks. I don't tend to use claw marks very much because it's hard for me to find claw marks that I actually like to use or that I think I can use effectively. But I thought that with what I was doing with this, it worked out just fine, and I really liked how it looked. So it worked out. I think the tights, or not the tights, I think the trunks look really, really good actually. I like it. The black, white, and red looks pretty good. I like the Red Panther that I got, and I like the claw marks as well. Moving down, we have what I believe are Cassius Ono knee pads. I may be wrong about that, but I don't know exactly whose knee pads these are. I just want to say they're Cassius Ono's. But the knee pads aren't the story here. What the story is these, or are these, fantastic Rey Mysterio boots. These boots look freaking epic. I love these boots. This is the first time I'm using them, and I'll probably try to moderate my usage of them in the future, but these look really, really sick. These look nice. These are some excellent boots. You guys can just see them in all of their glory here. I can't really explain to you how cool these boots are. You just have to look at these boots and just understand. And if you don't understand, you need to smack yourself because you don't understand how cool these boots are. They just look really nice, and I very, very much appreciate them. For the entrance attire, I just gave him a nice little poncho kind of shirt. Only the strong survive. Like I said, that is the tagline for his thing, his whole gimmick, I should say. The letters are gray because originally the white that is on the trunks was supposed to be gray. It was supposed to blend in with the Panther's gray outline, but I didn't really like how it looked. It looked fine. It didn't look bad, but it didn't look great. So I decided to not do that and just keep it as white. I just never went back to change this part because I didn't feel like I needed to. I feel like it didn't take away from the rest of the attire, so I just felt unnecessary. On the back of this poncho, it does host the Gray Panther, by the way. I said the Gray Panther, the Red Panther. This hosts the Red Panther. And as I show you guys this Panther, you guys can see in the top left corner of the screen his finishing move, which I'm going to be calling Inner Strength. And that finishing move is, of course, the 1916. This was dumb. I had to stop recording because I actually couldn't remember his finishing move offhand. Go and grab my book, which had his finishing move listed in there, and then press the record button again so I could keep going this. I totally forgot his finishing move for a minute. My mind just blanked, so I had to go and make sure I had it right. But yes, his finishing move is the 1916. If you don't know what that finishing move is, it is Finn Balor's finishing move. Not the coup de grace, not the diving double foot stomp from the top rope. It's the single underhook brainbuster, basically. It's a good move. Good move. I think he's been using that move in conjunction with the double foot stomp, basically, for his whole career. Because I know he was doing it a little bit, I think, in New Japan. Although I think the Bloody Sunday was like his replacement, I guess. I think that Finn was doing the 1916, the coup de grace, and then the Bloody Sunday, but I think he stopped using the Bloody Sunday when he came to NXT and replaced it with the 1916 being more prominent. But that's irrelevant. I don't know why I went on that tangent. But yeah, that is his finishing move, the 1916. So, moving on to the second attire. Here we have tights. So I don't use these tights. I don't think I've ever used these tights before. I feel like I always want to use these tights, but I never choose them. I think I may always have something different in mind, or I just may never want to use these tights because these tights are a little bit more special than other tights, so I feel like I need to have a plan prior to using them, as opposed to maybe some other tights where I can like come up with a plan while using them already. But with these tights, now I'm using them, I had a plan in mind, I executed that plan, and that plan worked out pretty well. So before we get to the tights, and I'll talk about those, let's just take a quick minute to talk about the elbow pads and the wristbands, which I think look pretty cool. New logo, by the way. No more red panther. Now it's a good old orange tiger. Tony the tiger. With opposite colors. This one's orange inside black. This one's black inside orange. But it still works. I really do like the tiger this here. This looks really cool. Looks like a patch, kind of. So now we talk about the tights. And so these are the tights. I'm going to be calling these edge head tights. So if you guys remember back when Edge was a common or a normal full-time wrestler for WWE, I think at some point in time he had edge heads, which is like basically his little minions that looked similar to Edge at the time. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, where they actually were. And I feel like only one of them wore tights like these. It may have been Zack. I don't remember. It may have been Zack wore these tights and Kurt wore something else. I don't remember 100%. But these just remind me of that. And I think these are where these come from. So I just like them. But like I said, I think that I need a plan before I use them. And I just never have a plan in mind. I never think about anything. But this time I had something in mind. I did it. And I think it worked out really well. So I gave it a little black border around the top because I just don't like the idea of, I don't know, I just don't like the idea of just having the tights go orange all the way up. So I give a little black border. On this side, the side that stops as if they're trunks, I just gave some lines. On the back, it says strong, obviously, because Tobias strong. And on the other side that is fully tights, we got some more lines that are broken up by this nice image right here. We got a little black circle with the orange tiger putting itself right there. And then we also have some white blocks behind the tiger, which are supposed to kind of be the same shade as the fur or the white fur of the tiger, which I think looks pretty good. I do like it. And then some black lines following it once that's all over and done with. So we go down a little bit more. We see these nice knee pads right here, more orange and black, which I think look pretty good. And then we have more Rey Mysterio boots. More Rey Mysterio boots. They look super cool, and I'm not going to explain how cool they look, because you guys already understand how cool they look. And if you don't understand how cool they look, well then, we can't be friends. I'm sorry. It's just the way it has to be. But yeah, I think they just look really cool, so I just wanted to keep using them for coolness and consistency, I guess. So I just wanted to point this out. He's wearing socks, by the way. He is wearing socks for this. So this is mainly because I don't like the idea of having like that skin ratio between knee pads and boots. So I just put socks on the leg that stops with the tights to make it look like it's something. It keeps going a little bit. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it overall. I like this attire. I had a plan, and it worked out. I executed it, and it's just a good attire. I just really like it. So, moving on to the entrance attire, we have a jersey here. This is the Cassius Ohno jersey, by the way. Which makes me feel like he looks bigger than he actually is. I feel like it's just because it's the Cassius Ohno jersey, so the jersey may look bigger than it needs to be, because it's supposed to be for Cassius Ohno, and Cassius is a pretty big guy. But it's still a nice jersey. It's still a good-looking jersey. But you guys can see what it says on the front, only the strong survive. Pretty straightforward, same tagline. And then you see the tiger on the back. And you guys can see that we have all these intercollecting lines going around that, besides like the front and the back, like the sides and stuff, which look pretty cool. And I think it's a nice time to get some more color in there. If I was using more colors, I think it would look even better. But since I'm only using orange, black, and white, I think that it works out. I really do like it. So this is Tobias Strong, guys. I think he looks really good, and I'm pretty proud of Tobias Strong. So once again, you guys can see in the top left corner, finishing move is the 1916 Finn Balor's standing grapple finishing move, which he doesn't do very much, but still a good finishing move. I personally like it. And yeah, like I said, I think I made this call last year, except I never showed it to you guys because I never made a Caw Showcase video for that, even though I meant to. But I just think that this works out well. I like how this works. It looks good to me. I'm pretty proud of Tobias Strong. Yeah, guys, this is Tobias Strong. And now we're going to go into our final call of this episode. We had our 25, we had our 50, we had our 75, which is Tobias. And now we're going to wrap this episode with our 100, our last 25%. Allow me to introduce you guys to Excellent Adam Jacobs. Alright guys, so this is Excellent Adam Jacobs. Also known as XAJ. You can just call him AJ. Just know that he is indeed excellent. So this is Excellent Adam Jacobs, and I think he turned out really well, actually. For my first time making him, I actually am pretty happy with how he turned out. So I think I tried to make this call during the time of IPW. I think I tried to stream it, but the stream had failed. So I deleted the VOD because the stream had failed, obviously. So you guys have never seen what XAJ had looked like last year, because I never made a Caw Showcase. I did finish the call, I just didn't see it. So this is another time when you guys are seeing a call for the very first time. So this is XAJ, Excellent Adam Jacobs. You guys know I had to give him the Pete Dunne haircut, you know. It's the new thing in the game. Everybody loves Pete Dunne. Everybody loves the Pete Dunne haircut. Don't tell me that long-haired son of a bitch with his comb over doesn't appeal to you. If you tell me that, you're lying to me. I don't appreciate your lying. But yeah, give him a little facial hair too, with some long-ass eyelashes for some reason. I gave him some bicep bands, which I think look pretty cool. Emphasize the biceps. And some wristbands as well. For the specific attire, gold, white, and black were very big. I feel like, typically speaking, you know, a lot of times, if a guy comes out and he's dressed in like gold, black, and white, it's just something about that attire or that color scheme that I really do enjoy. Those three colors coming together look really nice. Maybe it's just a black and white, and then gold is like a very prestigious color, but I just like it. I think Leo Rush uses gold, black, and white a lot, which is why I like it. And there's probably another wrestler who does it, and I saw it, and I took to it, but Leo Rush just comes to mind instantly. So, I also gave him this nice star logo going up the side, or going down, I should say, because the stars are coming down, I suppose. Going down his side right there, and I think it looks pretty cool. So moving on to the trunks. On the front, it's just an X, a white X in the background, and then a black X in the foreground, I guess. And it says XAJ, which is kind of his nickname, kind of his actual name. And then on the back, it's another X, except it's a black background X with a white foreground X, and it says Excellent. Excellent Adam Jacobs. I give him also this nice belt. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of the times, a lot of wrestlers have belts on their tights, and I just like how it looks. And it's very rare that I see guys with belts on their trunks, but it still looks super cool. So I just wanted to use it, and I like how it looks. I really like how it looks, especially because the belt buckle is pretty big. If I use like normal belts, a normal belt, I should say, then it doesn't look the same. But I don't think this is a normal belt. Oh, it is. This is a normal belt. Yeah, this is like a bigger belt. Typically, I would use like smaller belts like this belt or like this belt or not that one. This one. Wait, no, not that one. This one. But like you can see, it doesn't cover up like the full top of the trunks. You can still see some of the black coming through. I didn't want that to happen, so I used this really big one, like this big belt, and I just think it looks really cool. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. But yeah, that's the attire for all of that. Now we keep going down. We have the knee pads. One's pretty basic, it's just gold and black, and the other is, I believe, Sheldon Benjamin's knee pad. I believe that when he came back, he had a really, really nice attire. And his attire is really intricate. Sheldon Benjamin right now, I believe his attire is very intricately designed. If you see it, it just looks really nice. It's like colorful. There's all these lines going everywhere that make all these different sections, and those sections are colorful as fuck. So it's noticeable, and I like it. I like Sheldon Benjamin's current attire right now. So I think that this knee pad specifically does come from Sheldon Benjamin's current attire. And then I gave him just some pretty basic kick pads and put an X on it just for X and Adam Jacobs, and to keep the other white, black, and gold color scheme going in here. So here's his entrance attire. I gave him just a Seth Rollins vest. Now, in the time, I thought this was a good idea, but now that I'm looking back on it, I'm looking at how it looks right now, I may have to change this. Maybe I'll give him a shirt, maybe I'll give him a jacket or something else besides this, but looking at it now, I don't think I like how this looks. I don't think I like just the Seth Rollins vest. Maybe I gotta change that. I think that does need to be changed. But, you know, as of right now, this is what it looks like. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. The Seth Rollins vest isn't bad. I just feel like it doesn't fit the entire look. It's like it just doesn't flow well. It doesn't match how everything else is. So I think I am gonna have to change this eventually. But for right now, we're gonna keep it with this. So while I'm changing to the second attire, you guys can see in the top left corner, his finishing move is called Excellence, and it is the small package driver. I don't see people using the small package driver very much. I know Seth uses it, but not as a finisher. And I know that a wrestler called Trevor Lee uses it, but also I don't think not as a finisher. And it's a really cool move, so I decided to put it on XAJ. And I just like how the move is. That's all it is. People, I think I've said it a couple times, but I like the Brainbuster as a finishing move. Austin Aries does it, and Tomohiro Ishii do it as a finishing move, and I just like the Brainbuster. And now I'm growing more fond of the small package driver. I feel like it's underrated as a move, because I don't see like anybody using it basically. Not even as like just a move. It's just pretty underutilized, so it's grown on me. But here's the other attire. No more gold, black, and white. Now it's black, orange, and green. A little bit more colorful this time. The bicep bands are back though. They are making a return. Not the same bicep bands, because the bicep bands prior were just black. But now we have some green, black, and orange bicep bands. You go down, you have your hand tape, and you have orange, green, and black for the wristband, I should say. And then we have these trunks coming back down here. Star tattoo still in the same place, obviously. We have these trunks which belong to Neville back when he was in the WWE. I changed up a little bit. So there's no X on here. So the front is basically entirely untouched. The very front part right here, like this part, the very front is supposed to be black, just like how the back is. But I used some rectangles to orange it out because I wanted the back to be the only part that was black. I feel like it makes it stand out a little bit differently. And I used the same belt as before, but now it's a green belt, so it goes with the green color scheme, and it has the black buckles. And I incorporated the entire name into the attire. It's not just a nickname, and it's not just Excellent. It's the entire name here. So his name is Excellent Adam Jacobs. Excellent on the belt, Adam Jacobs on the actual trunks themselves. So that is his actual full name. I was gonna do something where I did like the first attire where it'd be like maybe a green X background and then like an orange front round or front ground X or a black front ground X, and I just didn't like it. It just didn't work. So I decided to scrap it, and I like how this looks. I think this looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the second attire. Personally, I think I did a better job on the first one than the second one, but I still like the second one on some respects. I might toss it out there every now and again. Going down, I use these boots again. And it messes me up. I need to use these boots more often to know how I can get used to them and start utilizing them more. And this is one of those times where I utilize them and I don't necessarily love them too much. I don't think I'm going to change these boots because they're not bad boots. I don't think they flow right, but they don't flow wrong. And that's very weird to say, but they're not perfect. They're not perfect. They could be better, but they could be worse. I think at the moment I'm going to keep them on them though. But I don't have anything on these knee pads or boots. I was going to put something on the knee pads, but the boots kind of messed me up. I had an idea for the knee pads, but because the boots are so high or because they fit how they do, it just didn't work out right. But yeah. This is Excellent Adam Jacobs wrestling attire for the second attire. And then the entrance attire is another Seth Rollins vest. Like I said, I probably will change this in the future, but for the moment, it's just going to be like this. And it's the same thing as the other... I had the yawn like mid-sentence, I'm sorry. It's the same thing as the first attire, entrance attire. It's just as excellent on the front, so you guys know he is excellent. He is Adam Jacobs. I feel like excellent is an underutilized word. I feel like excellent doesn't appear very much in people's vocabulary. So I was thinking to myself, like, what's a cool word that I can try to center on to make a gimmick, so to speak? And, you know, there's a lot of positive connotation words out there. There's good, obviously, but no one wants to be called good. There's great, which is fine. There's phenomenal. There's glorious. There's terrific. There's fantastic. There's amazing. There's stupendous, which is not used basically at all. But I thought, like, I don't hear the word excellent very much. So I thought about excellent. I wanted to keep that word. I like the word excellent. It sounds good to me. And I just wanted to make something around the gimmick of excellence and excellence being excellent. So that's just how it came out. So this is Excellent Adam Jacobs, and he will eventually one day hit you with the small package driver, his finishing move, which he calls Excellence. But yeah, guys, this is Adam Jacobs. Excellent Adam Jacobs. XAJ. I'm pretty happy with how this card turned out. I really do like it. Especially that Pete Dunne haircut. Just thinking about that Pete Dunne haircut, that is crisp and clean, and that's just how I like it. But yeah, guys, Excellent Adam Jacobs. So that will be the end of the video, guys. It's only 4 cards this time. There's going to be a video coming up in a couple hours that will explain some things for the future of the channel and whatnot. But for right now, just going to focus on these 4 cards. So if you guys have any opinions on the cards that I've showed you, or for future cards or cards of previous videos, or anything you want to talk about in the world of wrestling / the world of card creation, you are absolutely free to post a comment down in the comment section. I would always appreciate someone to talk to, even if it's in texting form. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you guys in the next one, whenever the next one may be, if it may be at all. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you'll have a nice day, and I'll see you guys another day. Adios and tranquilo.